Welcome everyone to part 2 of our SPSS tutorial playlist. In this video, we focus on the SPSS interface and workspace. By the end of this video, you will be able to describe the overview of the SPSS interface, identify the primary SPSS windows, particularly data editor window and viewer window, explain the functions of menus and toolbars, and save SPSS files appropriately. Let us now open SPSS and take a look at its interface. When we open SPSS software, either from the start menu or the desktop shortcut, the data editor window along with its welcome screen are displayed. If we close the welcome screen using the close tab, the data editor window remains open. SPSS consists of several key sections. At the top is the title bar, which displays the name of the active SPSS file. At the moment, the file is unnamed because it has not been saved. Immediately below the title bar is the menu bar, which provides access to all the major commands in SPSS. The menu bar contains drop-down menus that all users to manage data, transform variables, perform statistical analysis, create charts, and carry out many other tasks. Next, let us explore the main functions and features of the selected SPSS menu through a brief demonstration. Starting with the file menu, the new submenu is used to create a new SPSS data, syntax, output, and script. This is usually the starting point for a new project. The Open submenu allows users to access existing files in SPSS. The Import Data option is used to bring data into SPSS from other applications and file formats such as Excel, CSV data, text data, SAS, and Stata. It also allows users to save and save as well as to close the editor window or the files of SPSS. The Edit menu provides commands for modifying information. Common functions include undo and redo actions, copy and cut and paste information, find and replace values. Transform menu is mainly used for creating and modifying variables. By using compute variable submenu, we can create new variable. Transform menu also allows users to record variables. For example, if you collect data by using 5-point Likert scale from strongly disagree to strongly agree, then we can collapse the 5-point Likert scale into 3-point Likert scale by using record subcommand of transform menu. Analyze menu. This menu is the main location for conducting statistical analysis ranging from descriptive statistics to the inferential statistics. It has a number of commands covering descriptive statistics like frequencies and descriptives, correlation analysis, regression analysis, ANOVA non-parametric tests. The graphs menu is used to create visual displays of data and statistical results. Common graphs include from legacy dialogues, bar, pie chart, histogram, including box plots and scatter plots. The Help menu provides access to SPSS documentation, tutorials, and command features. For example, we can get a PDF document from documentation in PDF format submenu. Help menu also provides information about the version of the SPSS. By clicking here About tab, you can know the version of your SPSS. In this case, it is version 27. Next, let us briefly look at the toolbar, which is located immediately below the menu bar. The toolbar provides quick access to frequently used commands without opening menus. Common toolbar buttons include open, save the document, print the document, to run recently used dialogues, for undo, for redo, and many more shortcuts. Now let us move on to the two very important views of the data editor window. The first view is the variable view, and the second one is data view. They are found at the bottom left corner of the window interface. Using variable view, we define the properties or the characteristics of all the variables that we have included in our study. In the variable view, each variable is represented by the row, and we provide the characteristics or properties of the variable in terms of the name, which is the abbreviation of the variable, and the type by clicking the three dots here. The type of the variable could be numeric, which is the default type of the variable in the SPSS data editor window, but we can also enter text, for example, the string for categorical data like for gender, female and male. The with and decimals, we can maintain the default as they are. Label, in the label, as the name indicates, we provide descriptions of the variable. The values are the attributes of the variable. For example, for gender, we have two categories, female and male. We may give code for female 1, for male, we may give code number 2. Measure is concerned about the level of measurement, whether our variable is nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio level of measurement. So depending on the nature of the variable, we specify here. Therefore, the variable view, it is the view through which we define the characteristics of the variable. So whenever we have the survey questionnaire design to collect data to undertake research, then all question items in the survey questionnaire should be changed into the variable form using the variable view. In case of data view, we can switch from one view to another view just by clicking. If we click data view tab, the data view is displayed. In the data view, each row represents the case or observation or respondent. Each column represents the variable of the study. In the variable view, the row represents the variable, but under the data view, the column represents the variable. One of the most interesting features of SPSS is it is dual view system. Variable view and data view exist within the same window, allowing users to switch easily between variable definition and data entry. Each cell in the data view contains the response of a case. For instance, in this cell, the response of case number 1 for this particular variable. For example, assume we wanted to collect information from the respondents about the sector in which they are employed. Therefore, the sector in this case is the variable of our study. Then under the name column for this particular variable, we provide the short description of the variable, which is simply sector. Under the label column, we provide the full description of the variable, which is the name of the sector in which the respondent is employed. Under the label, we need to give a meaningful description for the particular variable. Under the values column, we provide the codes that we specify in the survey questionnaire. We could use, for example, 3 sectors of the economy, which are the public, private, and the third sector. We could give number 1, 2, 3 codes respectively. Maybe we may include the 4th code for those respondents who are not currently active in the labor market. So we could have 4 codes. And therefore here, by clicking the 3 dots, we give the course and the description for that code. So the value here, we provide the course. Label is the description for that value. For the public sector response option, the code would be number 1. Then we add here. For the private sector, the code could be number 2. Then add the third sector or NGO sector. let us simply use NGO sector, and the code is number 3. Then we click Add tab, and number 4 for the option not currently employed, number 4 as a code, we click Add. Here we click OK. The other important characteristic of the variable is measure column. And measure represents the level of measurement. In research, there are 4 commonly used levels of measurement, which are nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. In this particular case, the sector in which the respondent is employed out of the 4 options, it is nominal measure. Then when we click the data view tab, the data view is displayed. Now each row represents the respondent, whereas each column represents the variable. The active number of variable in the data view is the same with the number of variable that we have defined in the variable view. Here we have defined only one variable, so the active column or the active variable name is only one. Again, let us assume we have collected information from 10 respondents. It is through this view we enter the data, the responses from the respondents. So number 1 respondent could be from NGO sector, then we write 3. Number 2 from private sector, 2. Number 3 from not employed. In such a way, we enter the response of each respondent. We have entered the responses from all respondents, the 10 cases or observation in this hypothetical example. By using the shortcut, we can change into the codes here just by clicking the value label command. A step-by-step tutorial on defining variables in variable view and entering data in data view is available in the SPSS tutorial playlist on this channel. Once we have properly defined all the variables of our study, we should not forget to save our file. In order to save the file, we go to the File menu, or we can use the shortcut, which is Save This Document shortcut. If we use the menu, we just go to the file, then we click Save As. Currently, as you can see, it is an unnamed file. It is untitled file because it has not been saved. So we go to File and click Save As. Give the name here. Select the folder where you want to save, or you can create new folder. In my case, let me use SPSS tutorial folder, and I select this folder. Already I've given the file name for this data set is SPSS tutorial part 2, and then click Save. As a general rule, create and save a separate data set for each research project. When we execute any of the commands using the menu bar or the toolbar, automatically the second window of SPSS will open, which is called the output viewer window, where we get the output from the command execution. Let us run descriptive analysis just to know the frequency distribution of our respondents in terms of the sector in which they are employed. So we go to Analyze menu and then Descriptive Statistics, click Frequency submenu from the left box, where we get the list of the variables which we have defined. In our case, we have only one variable, the sector in which the respondent is employed. So we select that variable, and using the arrow button, we move to the right side box, and then we just click OK. So the outputs are displayed in the viewer window. Therefore, from this output, the distribution of respondents by the sector of employment, we can see that the largest proportion of respondents in this particular case, about 40% of the respondents were employed in the private sector, while the public sector NGO sector and not employed categories each accounted for 20% of the respondents. We can copy this frequency distribution of respondents by sector of employment and paste to the Word document to include into our research report. Before we conclude this part of the tutorial, let us recap the key points we have covered. We have explored important components of the SPSS interface, including the title bar, which displays the name of the active SPSS file, the menu bar, which provides access to major SPSS commands and procedures, and the toolbar, which provides shortcut icons for frequently used commands. We have also learned that the data editor window serves as the main workspace where variables are defined through the variable view tab and data are entered through the data view tab. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any upcoming tutorials.